Hey, what's up, everyone? I have a lot to talk about. There's literally, there are literally very few positive things you see in the world stage, but that's just the way things are right now. Now, I don't know whether the Nostradamus talk is true or not, but they claim that a book that was published in 2005, people have begun really reading it because apparently it said the Queen shall die, Queen Elizabeth II shall die circa 22 at the age of 96, and then her shall be succeeded by Charles, and then they say he shall be removed and someone else takes over. And then they apparently say a great war, 7-month war comes in. But I got something else interesting. A power outage took place for us on Saturday, shut off our internet, and we don't get cell signal here the uh, without the micro cell tower, so to speak. I don't know what it really. It's called a cell booster, but it's actually a tower. And that went out, so we had no connection, no communication, no electricity. We had nothing. No explanation from the power company still. Everyone around here is still wondering why are 4,000 people without electricity? Why? And I had no signal locally. I had nothing. I couldn't call, and I had to turn on the Wi-Fi calling on my phone to use what little backup power was left from the living room backup power I installed. Probably lasts like 45 minutes. So I decided I'm going to call right away. I had to call them 5 times before it went through properly, and then I reported our outage. And I posted on there that we don't get signal without it. We need signal, and that's if there was an emergency, and that's when they got it back online for us. But I heard the generator nearby overwhelming, and it went, and it was just crazy. And then I found out thousands of customers in East Tennessee were without power. But when you go to the page, it just says object, 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 object over and over. They won't let you read it. Fox 13 in Memphis, they won't let you read the article. They won't let you read why it's been removed. They don't want you to hear about it. Go to look it up, and it takes you forever to find the article. And then I hear, oh, something big is coming. And I don't know whether it's true that President Xi, I don't know. I don't know whether it's true that he's in hiding or not. They claim it's because of COVID lockdowns now, that all that stuff about a coup was a lie. Who knows? And they claim Putin was in hiding in a forest, and then now they said his army's ramping up, and now he's took over 4 corners of Ukraine, they say, and he's going to give them the option to become part of the Russian Federation, and it's insane. Then the next thing they say, according to a Nostradamus prophecy, is that a 7-month war begins. Next year we get a 7-month war. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. I'm not a false prophet. I'm not going to be a false prophet. And I mean, it's who knows, but that's what they're saying. And you've got all this crap they're trying to promote of people eating people, and they're trying to promote that consistently. And the evil is, oh my goodness, the evil is so obvious. Oh my goodness, And then they say, they're literally saying that purge law. They talk about the purge law in Illinois. Maybe they're just trying to scare the crap out of people to vote a certain way. I don't know. And then they're saying, literally, there's no news about that. This person ran a Republican voter down. He ran him down, ran him over, and killed him. And then when he was in court, he said, I've got to get home and I've got to provide for my family. The reason why he did it is because our government itself was telling people to kill the MAGA people, kill the Republicans, kill anyone, have no mercy. Why this divide? Why so much divide? And then right now, you know what else we're seeing? We are seeing major shifts take place in people protesting. So now we've got I want you to think about this. We're seeing major shifts in people's ideology. People are protesting because of the ridiculous overstepping of power in the Middle East, and they're burning their burqas, they're burning the hijabs, they're burning all of the particular clothing they have to wear, and because people are being murdered, thrown off buildings, and burned because of not wearing these things over their eyes or over their hair a certain way. And it's ridiculous. But people are protesting over that, and I'm glad to see male and female both protesting over overstepping of power. Right now, the same in the dragon, the country of the dragon. I can't say their word when I'm talking about these topics because of how the algorithms are. But you see people right now protesting over there by the millions. Well, what's happening now? Major storms going through the area. What do we have? Florida, over in the state of Florida. Some people, like Jacob said on his channel, call that one of the last free areas besides the big TN, besides the state of TN. And what's going on in Florida? Big hurricane strengthening, very, very amazingly strengthening. What happens? People begin to protest in Canada about the overstepping of Trudeau. What happens? They got an extreme storm that hit them. Now you've got a major storm that just hit Alaska. There are lots of earthquakes taking place with damage. People are protesting in Russia because they said they are not going to die in a war they didn't want to begin with. They are not going to go to war and kill people in the draft. So you got millions of people protesting. The ones that aren't protesting are leaving the country. And many people don't think about the fact that Russia, China, and the Korean nations as well, we know. Korean nations border Russia. And then we have the Middle East. And all of those nations are in Asia. They're all Asian nations. So a lot of people don't even think about that. But then you have Kim, old Kim over there. He's trying to fire off missiles. Then the bear threatens the ICBMs to go off. Threatens nuclear war. They say it's just all talk. But you've got all these things happening and tenseness spreading. Then you've got a situation here in the U.S. that seems like that the stupidest things are being put into place and causing more inflation, causing more crises, causing shortages of supplies, causing water and food shortages. It seems to be putting in place so you can cause as much chaos as you can. And all these countries are dealing with it. Asian nations, European nations, the United States, Canada, Mexico, they're all dealing with these shortages, and people are sick of it, so they go to protesting. And then right now, the elites in the United States are letting everyone just, like here, fight each other. And they start what's known like the purge laws in January, if they do that in Illinois. It does away with bail bonds, basically. If they do that, that's completely idiotic. It's like a get out of jail or prison free card and just run rampant, let all the prisoners out, unless it's a threat against a politician of their choosing, basically. You can't make this stuff up. Then you've got these storms increasing right now. Oddly enough, when people are beginning to protest worldwide, you've got storms hitting Russia. I believe several cyclones. Let's see. Hurricane Ian growing stronger on the path to hit Florida on Wednesday as a major hurricane. Let's see. Where's the? There's a message I got earlier saying that there was a major typhoon hitting some Asian nations and some big earthquakes, and they're saying these certain volcanoes are erupting that could put a lot of CO2 into the atmosphere and cause temperatures to screw up in the climate, to mess up more. But you got WeatherMod and GeoEng that's happening. Like Jacob was speaking about that movie about the superstorms. Geostorm, things like that. You've got all this happening, and it seems to be political in a way and spiritual. Then they've got in Tennessee the In God We Trust license plates, and they said they make them a certain way. They put the letters in front of the numbers on some, and the other ones without In God We Trust are the opposite. The opposite. The numbers are in front of the letters or something like that. And they said it's causing people to be targeted for their spiritual beliefs in God. And people are targeting you because you have In God We Trust on your license plate. It's insane. They said, please, people, that's just more divide. We don't need that. Like when Mr. T was talking about the Abraham Accord that they signed, and there's those three beliefs over there: Christianity, Judaism, and Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, and they all fight. Even though their core, the part that brings them together, that unites them basically, is the God of Abraham, the belief in the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of it's the God of Abraham in their belief, the Creator God. And there's some interesting verses in the Bible about crystals that I'd love to share. And they hold power and time, and they connect you with God and His kingdom. All of that is about. I mean, they have crystal power. I mean, it's obvious. It's in there. It's in Revelation and several other books throughout the Bible about the power of crystals. Amethyst, the quartz crystals, and jade, and all of these different beautiful crystals that are used in our, basically the amethyst used in our semiconductors, and the smaller the capacitors and semiconductors, and silicone, it's the smaller they get and the more memory and processing power it has, and the more powerful the technology, and every single frequency runs on this crystal power, basically. But yeah, we've got so much happening worldwide, and people can't seem to open their eyes and see it. And when you see certain politicians and individuals speaking, you see such evil and pure hate. And it's just, you can see it. And yet they keep comparing Mr. T to Hitler. Hitler killed over 10 million Jews. There's a big difference. Do some research, people. Not you, but those people. Hitler killed over 10 million Jews. Did Mr. T do that? No, I mean, brother. Anyway, but anyway, it's beyond politics and beyond belief systems. It's beyond that. It's just the inability of people to see beyond the mundane things that divide us, instead of the uniting of humanity through God. You can't forget God. They're taking God out of the picture, and that core belief, without Him. That's why the Bible says a fool in his heart says there's no God. That's why you should not call someone a fool. You're not supposed to do that, because it's like calling them an atheist or non-believer of God, and they keep spreading that as well. They keep spreading satanic information, rituals. It's more obvious now than ever, and we've got to let the truth set us free. We've got to let the truth unite us. But anyway, there's a bigger picture going on here, because there's a lot of power outages randomly happening, and you go to look up information about that, and you get a bunch of codes or words that won't give you the article. And that's just not... Or they blame it on a squirrel when it's happening too much. I mean, there's a lot of power outages, and they try to blame it on something simple when it's not. But also, I think there's a big typhoon hitting Asian nations right now. I don't know if it's China or Japan, or I think it's China, if I'm not mistaken, getting a typhoon But you see a lot of geo-engine weather mod happening. They can say that that's just, made up malarkey, but it's not. We've got a lot more to talk about. I'm on a rant mode right now. I have had so many ups and downs, felt so rough, and then I'm back up and back down, back up and back down. I don't know what this mess is. I'll have a sore, swollen throat and congestion, a migraine, and I'm so sick, and then fever, and then I'm back to being okay again. Then I'm not. Same with Mama. We're up and down, up and down. Also, personally, I was going to say my father's dealing with what things he used to deal with before he went to the hospital and had what they did, and then now he's dealing back with that again. But I'll talk about all that in another video. But I'm dealing with this long illness. It's nonstop. It just comes back and forth, comes up and down, goes up and down. And hopefully we all get better soon, because it's been a rough ride. It's been up and down. But yeah, I will speak as soon as possible. It's obvious there's no denying what they're doing now. They're speeding the process up, but something always seems like it stops it before it's too late, because it's like it's not time yet, and they keep trying to speed the process up, and each time it gets a nail thrown, it gets a damper put on it, so to speak. It gets stopped or slowed down because it's not time. Even though every time they get the opportunity, people like Soros, Gates, well, I'm not going to say their names because you get in trouble. Crazy, isn't it? You can't even say words or people's names. Rhymes with Swab. The Klaus and that other guy. You don't even see him anymore. Fauci. You don't even see him anymore. Fauci. You don't even see him anymore. Any of these people. But they are doing a lot behind the scenes. Even the president from 2 administrations ago, he's still in with all this stuff. It's all pure evil. I don't know how people can see it. Mr. T, when he was in office, he said, "They're not after me, folks. They're after you." And he said, "I'm just in their way." And he was the thing standing between the people and the NWO. The NWO. So he said those phrases, and no one seemed to pay any attention. And they seem to really hate certain people, if you know what I mean. They seem to hate people who feel a certain way, vote a certain way. They said they're holding society and this world back from progression. That's what they said. Alright. Peace. Signing out. Much love. I will talk later. Just had to share this stuff.